Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marisa Kazem, and today I'm going to be showing you my December setup in my bullet journal. I'm sorry this video is a little bit late, but I hope you guys are finally excited to see the final princess of this year's entire princess theme. If you're new to my channel, basically there are 12 official Disney princesses, and so for every month of this year, I decided to do my monthly themes based off of each individual princess, and for this month, I chose Cinderella. So many of you guys have been requesting for me to do Cinderella, and I'm really sorry that I left her until the very end. But the reason I did that is because I just really think Cinderella fits the Christmas theme the most out of all the Disney princesses. I mean, none of the movies really take place in Christmas, and Cinderella isn't necessarily wintry, but there's something about the magic and the vibes of this movie that just make me think of December and winter, and almost like a Christmas wish come true, so that's why I really wanted to do Cinderella for December. As always, for all of these drawings, I am just going to transfer them with transfer paper. If you're not sure how I do that and you want to see a more detailed version, I will link my transfer video somewhere so that you guys can see it, because if I were to include that every single time I transferred a drawing in these videos, it would take way too long, and this video would be like an hour long for no reason. So I will link that video so you guys can see that. But yeah, so for the cover page, I decided to go with Cinderella's carriage just because I think it's so beautiful. It is definitely one of my favorite aspects of this movie, and I just thought it looked gorgeous being on the front cover. I was really almost going to draw the carriage still as a pumpkin with all of the little elements around it that went into creating this carriage. And then I decided not to, because then it would end up looking like a Halloween theme. So if you want to do Cinderella as a Halloween theme for whatever reason, you feel like doing Cinderella in October, you could definitely just do her pumpkin carriage still as a pumpkin on the cover, and then it would instantly look like the perfect Halloween theme. Also, for the font of this title, I literally just googled Cinderella font and found one that most accurately looked like what I see in the movie, and then I just typed in December and printed it off, and then I transferred that as well so that I'd have this perfect matching Cinderella title, because I love doing this when I can. I did it for my Jasmine theme in an Aladdin font, and yeah, I just loved it for this theme. It looks so much better than me just writing December in a very boring black pen. And so for my quote page, I decided to use the quote from her song in the beginning of the movie, and it says, "No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true." And I really wanted to use that quote because we know that Cinderella is literally grieving basically all the time. Her mother died, then her father died, and her life is an entire mess, and so she's literally constantly in grief, yet she's still able to sing and find fun in whatever she's doing and enjoy her life a little bit. I mean, we know that she's miserable, but she like sings to herself. She enjoys spending time with the mice. Like, she clearly does things to cheer herself up even though she's grieving. And if you are new to my channel, my dad passed away in February 2021, and I'm still grieving, and this is my second Christmas celebrating without him. But he got sick December 2020 Christmas, and so it was like, it felt like Christmas was robbed from me and my family, and then it was robbed from my dad too. And so it's just a really hard time for me. Last year we didn't celebrate at all. I just simply couldn't do it, and I like rejected that Christmas was even happening last year. But this year I am feeling better about it, and I am excited for the season. I'm gonna read Christmas books, we're watching Christmas movies, our tree is already up, and we've decorated for Christmas, so I'm definitely being more open and more positive this year about it. But it's still hard for me, and so that's why I wanted to have Cinderella for December, because she just really shows how to live each day for what it is, even though you're still grieving, and just be grateful for what you have. And I love that message from Cinderella, and I just really wanted that for this time of year. Anyway, sorry, I forgot to explain what was happening on the calendar page. Basically, I just did the same heading as on the cover, And then I decided to do Cinderella's pink dress because I really love that dress. I do kind of wish we could see her at the ball in that pink dress. I mean, I know that the blue dress is really beautiful, but the pink dress was her mother's dress, and I really loved that she wanted to wear it. I think that's just so sweet. So I decided to do that, and then I freehanded the little birds, and that took me a while, and so that's why I always transfer, because I find it so much faster. So for my mood tracker this month, I decided to do Cinderella standing there, you know, when her gown was just changed, and I'm basically going to outline the big sparkles with a different color for each day, representing my mood. And I really like the idea of that. I was struggling what to do, and then I decided I really want her blue dress somewhere, and I want it to be big enough, so I decided to draw it here. I know some people debate that her dress is not blue and that it's silver, and that is an interesting debate. I watched all 3 Cinderella movies while I was doing this setup, and I will say, if you watch the first movie, the original movie, and you pay attention to when her dress is initially transformed, it is very pale and it almost looks like a pale gray in that scene, which is how I painted it here, like a slight bluish gray. But then for the rest of the movie, her dress does get noticeably bluer, almost like a sky blue, especially when she's outdoors with the prince and they're walking around the palace gardens. Her dress is like literally blue. So I think what Disney was trying to do was show that her dress is a very pale, sparkly, silvery blue. And then at night, if you pay attention to older cartoons, what they always do is whenever a character is out at night, they just make everything darker. Her hair is darker, skin is darker, dresses are darker, like everything is just darker at night. That's how they used to animate older films, because it's really difficult to create shadows back then. And so her dress became just bluer as the film went on, until her dress vanished. And when her dress vanished, we don't really see it vanish. She was in the carriage and then poof, it went back to her ripped pink dress. So yeah, her dress, I would say, is actually light blue. I don't think it's meant to be silver, because if it was silver and then they showed her at night, why would they make it blue? So I know it's like a constant debate about what color her dress is. I think it's a very pale baby blue, but it's whatever, everyone paints it differently. I hate how sometimes in merchandising they make Cinderella's dress look like a really dark blue, because it's clearly not dark blue. But whatever, I'm gonna stop rambling about her dress and tell you about the spreads now. So on the previous spread, I did my habit tracker and my brain dump, and obviously I had to draw Cinderella's castle on the brain dump page. And there are so many different versions of her castle. This is what I've noticed with Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella. Their castles look different constantly throughout the movie, because they're just paintings shown from different angles, and I'm pretty sure they're all done by different artists, and so they always look different. And I just decided to go again with the Disney Castle Collection version of her castle, because it's the most clear and vibrant, it's the most detailed, and it's just a straight view of the castle with some of the gardens at the front. And I really liked that, being able to see the gardens at the front. So I just painted that, and I loved the colors and the way it looks like it's lit up at night, so that's why I painted it like that. Otherwise, during the day, her castle does look like a paler marble. If you pay attention to the beginning of the movie, it's like a pale marble, so that's why it looks like that during the day. But I painted the version of it at night where it's more lit up when she went to the ball, and I really love that one. And so this spread is my Christmas memories spread. I did a birthday memories spread last month in my Rapunzel theme, and I absolutely loved it. I loved filling it out, and so I decided to do one for Christmas too, especially since this is the first Christmas I'm actually celebrating without my dad. I thought it'd be good to have a page full of positive memories that I can reflect on, and I decided to steal this beautiful piece of artwork from a Thomas Kincaid painting. He has 2 Cinderella paintings, and this one, you can see her and the prince dancing at night in this, I don't know what this is, a gazebo or something, I don't know, this weird archway thing. And if you pay attention to the movie, you can actually see this archway in the background in the castle gardens, but we don't actually see them walk through it or dance on it. But I guess it's kind of assumed that they might have gone there and danced. And so in his painting, he's painted them dancing on this gazebo platform thing. And there's a lot of other stuff in that painting too, but I just wanted to capture this for the corner. And I loved it because it's like a way of me showing them at the ball, but alone, because I did not want to paint a room of a bunch of people. And I just really wanted this to be like the Cinderella vibe. I didn't want it to be a close-up of the prince and her, because look how tiny they are compared to my hand. Like, I really wanted them to be small and just get the vibe of the ball. And I just love this archway. I loved all the flowers at the front, and I just put some grass in front of it, and I loved it. It's like the perfect accent to this page. I did something similar with my Rapunzel one. I drew, you know, the massive version of her bed and then her bookcase, and for this month I thought I'd keep it all on one page and just draw this. I'm thinking I might do this for every month that I have a big memorable thing going on, because, you know, like July is me and my boyfriend's anniversary, February we've got Valentine's Day, so I might do this for those months if I have the extra time for it, and that way I get to draw a much bigger painting on these spreads, and it's really fun. I really enjoyed painting this one. Also, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. I have a really fun theme planned for next year's entire 12 months, and I can't wait to share it with you in my January video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. And so now we're finally onto our weeklies, and this is the first weekly out of 5. December kind of has 5 weeks, so I did 5 for this month. And I just kept it simple again with the way that the days are of the week, and I have my task list in the corner, and it's not my complete task. I don't only have 4 tasks of the entire week, but I love using this list as like a priority list, because I've noticed that if I don't have a task list, I just end up writing down things I need to do on different days, but I don't always get to them that day, and then I just feel really disappointed in myself if I can't get it done. And so I like to do my big priority, like things to do, on that task list, and I write down only 4 of the week. That way I'm not just jumbled up with chores and stuff. Like, you know, my big priority things go in that list, and then throughout the days of the week, when I have little chores, I'll just assign them to a different day. And then I love being able to see it all like this in order, and I just love it. So yeah, that works for me. And then I also have a room to write a motivational quote, and then my meal tracker at the side where I can plan what I'm eating throughout the week. Anyway, so for this first weekly, I decided to paint Lucifer, Jack, and Gus. I loved that scene in the movie when they were trying to steal Anastasia's ribbon and Drizella's beads. I think that was the correct assignment. And I just loved when they were stealing the ribbon and Lucifer was sleeping on that little chair, and then they were like dancing around, I think, when they actually got it or something. Like, I don't know, it was just really fun. I just loved that scene, and I wanted to paint all 3 of them in one picture, and I just love how it turned out. It just looks very cute, and I love Lucifer. I know so many people hate Lucifer, and yes, he is an evil cat, but I love cats so much. I have a black cat. She's 17 years old, and I'm obsessed with cats. I just love them, and I wish there were better representations of cats in Disney movies, or just any movies. Cats are always portrayed as evil, and my cat is a sweetheart, so I wish there were just better portrayals of cats. But anyway, I still love Lucifer. He's hilarious, and I really wanted to paint him. So for my second weekly, I decided to paint Cinderella's bucket that she was using when she was cleaning the floors and singing to herself. And so if you're new to my channel, basically what I try to do with these setups is paint elements from the films rather than the characters. I have definitely strayed away from that, especially with last month's. I drew a lot of the characters just because with Rapunzel, it's just her and Flynn in a forest, and I can't keep painting the forest over and over again. But most of these setups, I try to avoid painting the characters if I can and focus more on the elements that give me the vibes of the film, because when I'm using my journal, I want to feel as if I'm the Disney princess and I'm seeing all of the things that were in their princess world. And for this one, I decided to do the wash bucket because she's like well, besides Snow White, she's the only princess who we actually see using a wash bucket, I think. And it was a very important scene when she was cleaning the floors and she was singing to herself and the bubbles were just like floating around. Like, it was gorgeous, and I just thought, let me paint the bucket to symbolize that. Also because it's a very memorable bucket. I don't know what it is about the way it was animated, but it just really makes me think of Cinderella, so that's why I did that. Anyway, sorry, I am so behind on this voiceover. So I also painted the sewing journal that Cinderella had that she used as her guide for how to fix her mother's dress, or more correctly, the mice used the journal. And I just loved it. I loved the little drawing of the little pink dress and how to alter it. So I wanted to include that. And then obviously for the next weekly, I had to do Cinderella's glass slippers somewhere. And because the slipper is not like a massive thing, I decided to do it just on the weekly. And I loved how it turned out. It genuinely looks like it's see-through, but gorgeous and shiny, and that's exactly what I wanted. So I love how that glass slipper turned out. And then for this weekly, this is the final weekly, I decided to paint the clock at midnight. Painting this clock was kind of hard because in the movie, whenever we do see this clock like properly close up, it is literally very dark blue. But when you look at the castle, you can actually see the massive clock at the top, and the clock itself is made of the same material as the rest of the castle, so it's probably made of marble. I think her castle is marble, or it's definitely a light color. You can tell that from the beginning of the film, but at night it's this like blue shade, and I really wanted to capture that. At midnight, her castle would not look so light colored, so I tried to capture that dark blue as much as I could, and I think it worked. I think it definitely looks like it's midnight in that painting, and I loved how it turned out. So this is my final spread, my monthly check-in and my monthly review, and I just like to keep the paintings a little bit simpler on this page, and so I just decided to do the bluebirds that help her out. I thought since I painted the mice earlier, I might as well add some bluebirds, and I just love how they look, they're so cute. And then I just added the quote, "Keep on believing," because that's also a lyric from her song, and I just love her message, I really do, and I just really wanted that all over this spread for the end of the year, because when I'm filling out this spread, it'll be December 31st, and we'll be starting a new year, and that's insane and crazy to me that time is moving so fast. And yeah, so that's why I did that. And yeah, these bluebirds were fun to paint. They all have different expressions, and I never realized how her birds had clothing. I always thought it was just the mice, but the birds have little hats and little shoes as well. Also, if you are still here at this point in the video, leave down below a crown emoji so that I know that you're a real one. Anyway, so now that you guys have seen all 12 official Disney princess themes, please comment down below and tell me which one of my themes is your favorite if you have watched all of them. All of my videos are linked below from this year if you want to see every single princess that I did. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so grateful for all of the support I have received on my crazy idea of doing princesses for the entire year, and I'm so excited for next year's theme. I can't wait for you guys to see it. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.